Okay, come, I got a new car to show you today. Now, you know Singapore has this goal to move towards all EVs by 2040, which means 2030 onwards, they won't be selling any more petrol cars. So today I have a very special model, which is actually the BYD ATTO3, and I'll be showing you what I understand about it as well as what I think is very cool. Now, BYD's ATTO3 has been the best seller for the last 1 month. They have actually sold 100 models of this. Over here, right, you realize that it looks pretty chic. I think the design is nice actually. So this is the white model. They have quite a few color variations. And you realize, right, the design at the back is also quite nice. Later, definitely I'll show you inside the car itself. Right now, I'm actually using a Mazda 6. So I can definitely compare what is the difference between my current car as well as this BYD ATTO3. And what we can definitely first see is this, which is the keyless method. You know, I kind of miss this quite a lot. My Mazda 6 doesn't have this, where my previous one, which is Camry, I had that keyless system. So I didn't realize how much of an inconvenience without keyless. Because so many times I have coffee on my hand, and then it's such a pain to stick the hand into the pocket just to fish out the key. But being keyless again is a definite must, especially if I'm looking for a next car. And at least the BYD ATTO3 has that. So there are usually some questions as to why I buy the Mazda 6 previously, correct? So when it comes to buying cars, there's usually two key components. The first is the emotional factor. You know, you buy a car because of the image. When someone buys a Tesla, they believe in Elon Musk. They believe in the mission of Tesla. When someone buys a Merc, they like that image of success. And when I buy my Mazda 6, I also wanted the image of being a professional, something very similar to Camry and yet can save me money. And this BYD car really feels more of a family size. And let me show you around. You see the space is pretty good actually. Leg room, I'm quite tall, I'm 1.77. You can see the leg space, good enough, definitely. So the closest model in comparison to BYD's ATTO3 is actually Hyundai Kona Electric. And you see over here the specs for BYD ATTO3 is slightly bigger, longer, wider. So it definitely fits for someone who is taller. And let me get the engine started. Now, here are some cool features to share with you. The first thing, of course, is this cute thing over here. Hi BYD, open sunroof. So my kids really had a lot of joy playing this in the last few days. Very cool.
Open door.
Hi BYD, close sunroof. Sometimes people, when they buy convertible, they like that, you know, that classy image. And I don't quite understand why we need a convertible. I'm always afraid of bird shit and stuff. But over here, this is a fun feature to have. And not just that, compared to my current Mazda 6, whereby the boots is pretty inconvenient. I need to go to the back to open it up. But right now, in this ATTO3, you realize I can actually open with a click of a button and control it fully from here. Open up and close it back down. Let me show you the space at the back. You can put quite a bit of luggage at the back. So coming back into the car, BYD, if you don't know, has been backed by Warren Buffett. So in terms of market leadership globally, I think it's very well known. And it being one of the best sellers in 2023, I think that's a testament to its popularity. So the image part, I think it definitely scores very well. Then the second usual part as why someone would choose a car, I definitely think it's the value that they feel from it. Mazda 6, when I compared to Camry, I definitely felt it was comparable. And then it's at a price that's like 30,000, 40,000 cheaper back then. And speaking of my Mazda 6, I remember this middle portion, there's actually no barrier in between. Also, there's actually a lot of room. And I think this leg space is also kind of offered in another comparable model, which is the MG ZS. So next part, usually when we compare EVs, is the driving range of the car. So for BYD ATTO3, from what it mentions, it can drive more than 500 click. That is actually similar to Tesla 3. But for MG ZS, the range is a bit shorter, 400 plus. And then for Hyundai Kona Electric, it's also at 400 plus. But when I test drove this car for the last few days, I realized that 500 plus seems to be the maximum cruising range. I think more realistic I can clock in city is about 400 click. That's my experience over the last few days. Driving around to Jewel, driving around to Marine Parade, driving to Vivo. And this is just some footage again. Bringing my family around to test drive this fantastic car. I don't show you any footage, but the vehicle acceleration was definitely good. EV seems to have the leap in technology, and if you see the specs, Tesla's 3's acceleration is probably even faster. Which leads to the next natural question: what is the price, correct? Right now, this is the listing price. I'd like to focus your attention on 100 kilowatt model. This model has kept its power, which means it's in Cat A, and because of that, you'll see that the listing price is $173,888. With COE currently at $92,000. There is a car body cost is $81,888. I checked around, this is definitely comparable to MG ZS. And if you compare it to Tesla, you realize that the price is definitely way cheaper. Tesla's body one is $104,000 and Tesla is on Cat B. And that COE is $113,000, which means the final price for Tesla today is $217,000. Vis-a-vis, this BYD ATTO 3 is going to save you $45,000 if you're really intending to convert to EV and it rounds back to good value for money. So let me give you a glimpse of the dashboard. You can see over here. Again, it rounds out the point. Usually when we buy cars, it's for image. If not, it's for the value of money. I think these are definitely good enough frills. This part is also pretty cool. As you can see, it can rotate. And there's a BYD app that you can connect to also. What about comparing to the cheapest cars in the market? Because after all, electric vehicle cars are still pretty expensive on the dollar basis. If we see the cheapest models, the most basic ones like Toyota Vios for example, you realize it's retailing about $120,000, which means the car body is only $28,000 to $30-something thousand only, which makes the upfront cost a bit cheaper. But let's next consider the ongoing costs. The first savings that electric vehicles are known for is definitely in the energy cost, correct? I checked right now for BYD's ATTO 3, the charging for full capacity is about $40. And I actually did a calculation on my own Mazda 6. My efficiency for fuel is about 12 kilometers per liter, which makes it for 400 km about $90, which means $50 cheaper driving for 400 km on the BYD ATTO 3. And if I convert to my monthly usage, I count about 1,500 km per month. That means the savings per month is about $187. We times 12 to that is $2,250 in energy savings itself, comparing electric versus petrol. Then the second part that worries me, my Mazda 6 right now is 6 years old already. There is a possibility that parts would be spoiling very soon. And for EV, the maintenance cost is very low. You realize that articles have mentioned the difference in running costs per year is $1,500 easily on maintenance. This brings the total savings to $3,750 converting from my current petrol car to this BYD ATTO 3. But wait, there's still a further cost to take note. Do know that there's road tax to pay. My current Mazda 6 2-litre is costing me about $1,200 in terms of road tax. But for EVs, the road tax are higher. Tesla's 3's road tax is projected at $2,135 based on the power of the car. And this BYD ATTO 3 with 100 kilowatts is only going to be at $1,502 per year in terms of road tax, which is about $300 more. So all in all, the net difference, reducing this, is still going to be about $3,500 per year in terms of savings if I were to convert from my current car to an electric car. So hopefully this has been useful, this has given you some food for thought, and I think the best way for you to see whether this fits what you're looking for is quite simply to go for a test drive, check them out. The current battery warranty is 6 years. Leave any questions that you may have in the comment sections, and thank you for watching to the very end. I definitely enjoyed driving this for the last few days. It's time for me to go back to the drawing board to think when is the most optimal time for me to trade in, and if I have updates on when I will be changing my car, I'll leave in a future episode, so do remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care as always, goodbye.